Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Eventer Talk with me, Mark, from Eventerprise. And today we're talking to Rubie Campbell from Nigella. You guys are a boutique floral business based in San Francisco. And it's morning to you there, and good afternoon and evening to everyone else across the world who will be watching this. Rubie, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. It's lovely to have you here. And we would like to grill you a little bit about what Nigella is doing to confront this digital tsunami that's enveloping businesses and making it so exciting and challenging at the same time to get your business out there and to introduce yourself to new clients, build up your client base, etc. But before I talk too much, Rubie, would you like to introduce yourself and your business, Nigella, to the audience? Just shortly, a description of what you guys do and what your product offering is.
Sure, yeah. We are a full-service flower boutique in San Francisco. We have a retail space available for our clients to come in and shop our products. They can get pre-made bouquets and vase arrangements. They can get custom-made arrangements, plants, gifts, all sorts of offerings. And we also deal heavily in corporate events, corporate weekly clients, delivering flowers and plants to people's offices weekly, as well as their homes. And we do many weddings and events in the Bay Area.
Is this a very saturated market? I mean, we've got a hub in San Francisco, so we're quite familiar with how busy it is there. There are lots of tech-related events, etc., going on. What is the competitor landscape like?
Well, yeah, like you said, it's a saturated market for the need for event work. It's also a saturated market for competition in the event game. So I think in the floral industry specifically and the events sector of it, there are a lot of people that have a specific niche client that they deal with. Some folks cater only to the tech offices for their events, and some folks do just specific types of weddings within a specific price range. So really, there's no shortage of vendors in the area. There's nobody that's looking for somebody and can't find what they want. So I think that actually drives competition and really makes people perform at their top level.
Absolutely. How does Nigella differentiate itself from the other players in the floral market?
I would say that our business model is more so catering to the full spectrum of floral needs. We really try to diversify our revenue stream and diversify our clientele so that we're able to do just about anything that anybody needs. Also, keeping our toes in each little sector of water, as it were, so that there's never, if it's a short time of the year, for example, right now in summer, a lot of people are traveling. So a lot of the folks that are placing everyday orders through our website are not necessarily placing as many orders. However, since we also do a lot of event work and wedding work, we're able to kind of offset that by picking up more events. So just really kind of trying to diversify that stream, as where a lot of our competitors in the San Francisco market, like I said, they have one specific thing that they do. We try to do it all.
So you're actually competing on many different levels within that segment of the events market. What is your key channel or method that you use to actually get that message across, that we do everything? How do you get it across to the market and make sure that people out there know that if you need flowers for this, you can use us. If you need flowers for that, you can use us.
Yeah, we put a lot of time and energy into our search engine optimization and search engine marketing. We work with a few different companies that help us optimize those. We also focus heavily on, like we were talking about earlier, the peer-based review sites such as Yelp. I feel that we get a lot of organic inquiries that way. People are searching for florists. They typically will go straight to Google, and then they'll go straight to Yelp after that. So we focus heavily on those two areas, just like I said, across the board for all of the different services that we offer. We try to promote those equally, and depending on the time of year and depending on the demand, for example, when the holiday season comes up, we'll be focusing more and promoting more our holiday offerings, Christmas tree decor, Thanksgiving get-togethers and things like that that are applicable to our area.
Okay, yeah. You mentioned Yelp and peer review sites, and obviously Eventerprise as a event-focused site, we also rely on those peer reviews to kind of equal the playing field, because a lot of people or a lot of event businesses do a lot of hard work, but then the feedback that they're getting, where do you put it? And like you said, you're actually getting a lot of organic traffic out of that. Would you say that an event focused platform would give you more juice than something that is more location based like Yelp?
Yeah, I think that it would definitely. Another area that we haven't really gotten into too deep, because it's kind of hard since we're a newer business to know who exactly to reach out to, is event planners. And I feel that would be one of the components to Eventerprise, would be event planners that are, they already have their own networks, but they're also seeking out new talent. So I think that having a platform like Eventerprise would really be helpful to generating more business for us and more inquiries.
It's very interesting that you mentioned networks there, and the fact, and I think that is a very intelligent strategy. Something that we've added to the vendor web pages or business pages that we create for each vendor is the ability to display your network and to build your network. So you can actually join the platform, sign up, and if another a vendor with whom you'd like to do business, for example, an event planner, as you just mentioned, you can actually connect with them and then display that network on your profile. We've found that is another way of building trust with your potential clients. Obviously, if you're working with reputable partners, then it just enhances your own profile as well. So, I think that is something fairly novel. Not many platforms actually have that feature where you can promote your network as well. Would you find it valuable to promote your professional network like that, or is it something that you would rather prefer to keep close to the chest?
No, I absolutely find it valuable, and I think that's one of the main reasons that I was interested in Eventerprise, because to me, from what I understand it to be, it seems like the same benefits that you would get from, say, LinkedIn, but for me, when I'm looking for new clients to work with or new vendor partners, I don't necessarily need to know their educational background or, all of those extra things. And I don't need to come across people that are looking for jobs versus looking for partners. So it's actually very helpful for me to be able to funnel those.
Yeah. Thanks for that feedback. We also briefly, before we started broadcasting, we spoke about automated requests. It is great if traffic is driven to your site from wherever. Google is a bit problematic because usually if you put in Florida, San Francisco, you're going to get like 2 million hits, and then it's where do I search? And there are all kinds of tricks to get yourself onto the first page and so forth. We all know how that works. But getting the traffic in is one thing, but also making sure that you get the right traffic in is another thing. We spoke about our own little technical glitch about you getting a request from New Jersey, and a little bit difficult to cater for bar mitzvah across the continent. So the principle of actually being able to let's not talk about the outcome in that sense. The ability to filter the client. What value do you see in that? With other words, instead of someone clicking a link and coming through to you, and then you need to start qualifying and you need to ask them a lot of questions, where you based, what's your budget, etc. How much value do you see in actually having a quote coming to you and all the details are already there for you?
A ton of value. I mean, that's kind of how our website works, but like I said, we are a newer company, so people would have to be specifically searching for us to find us, or they would have to be, weeding us out through a ton of other vendors. But to have that quote come directly to us is phenomenal in its potential. I do think there's also a benefit to, like we were saying, the glitch with New Jersey. I think that if I were to have a more established Eventerprise profile and actually be able to find, other florists in other areas that do similar work to what we do, that I would feel comfortable recommending. I think if I were to get an event quote request for a client in New Jersey, and I knew somebody in New Jersey through Eventerprise that I felt comfortable with, I could then forward them and say, well, that's out of my area. However, these are other florists that I would recommend, or maybe this is an event company that's based in that area that I would like to point you to.
Yeah, at face value, that seems like a very nice comment, but there's also a shrewd business motivation behind it because it works both ways.
Exactly.
That someone would then reciprocate if the same thing happened to them.
Yeah, there's
absolutely. Rubie, what would you say are, if you look at general, because you guys do quite a lot of weddings and events as well, as part of your floral business. Your amount of feedback that you get, do you publish it, or what is your central library where these get collected and displayed to the public?
That's something that we're still working on. At present time, we do have a pretty well-established Yelp page, as well as a Google page where people leave us reviews and commentary. We also, through our shop, we get a lot of feedback. When people get their receipts, they get the emailed receipts, and then it asks for feedback, and they give us a lot of positive feedback. I don't, however, at this point have like one central place where we're displaying them all. In theory, it would be something that we could put on our website. However, I don't know. I have a few reservations about me taking what somebody else says and putting it on our website and saying, this is what people are saying about us. I know a lot of people do that. It's just, I think since we're just such a new company, I'm kind of trying to pick and choose how we promote other people's feedback about us. So I think as far as customer perception, what customers and new clients would see that we're promoting in a certain area, I'm a little bit more inclined to let the customers speak for themselves on various websites. But as far as making connections for events and such, I think that if we had a play, Terry, like I did an event with Nigella, it went really well, super professional, etc. If we could put that in a specific place where other vendors could then see it, I think that would be very helpful.
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually trying to solve a lot of the smaller challenges about reviews, and it relates to a lot of what you've just said. For example, how do you collect reviews? We've added in the dashboard of the vendor accounts a little feature where you can actually just punch in the email address of your client, and then a bespoke message is sent off asking them for a review on, if they've just recently done business with you. The other thing that we've also added is there are two ways to collect reviews from your clients on your profile. One is the clients, you send them the link and they review you, or they find you by themselves. Alternatively, is actually adding reviews from clients who've written you letters, or maybe left something on LinkedIn or somewhere else, and we then do the I wouldn't say verification, but we make sure that it is a human being. There is a contact details, etc., and then those can be published then on your profile as well. And the whole motivation behind that is that there's actually a lot of feedback and testimonials coming across many different channels, and our goal is to make sure that you can actually put all of that feedback in one neutral place. The problem is most of us are very cynical. If you're going to put all of that on your own website, I mean, if I don't know you, I'm going to think, well, you're quite poetic, coming up with stroking your own ego and kind of creating your own reviews and stuff. So that's one thing that we want to do. I just want to quickly, before we run out of time, I want to ask you, do you guys have a dedicated digital marketing person or department, or is it something that everybody jumps in and helps?
I'm the co-owner of the business, so myself and my business partner, JR, we both do a majority of all of our marketing. We do have, like I said, a company that we work with that helps us with our search engine optimization, but that is like specifically related to our website as a whole and the Google Analytics and all of that. And it's not, it's more of like a consulting company. It's not anything that we, like anybody that we have on board on our team.
So you can basically get some tips and insights from them that you can apply then in the business. Yeah. On average ballpark, how much time do you think your digital marketing efforts take up on a weekly or monthly basis?
A lot. Probably, I would say combined between myself and JR, probably about 30 hours a week.
That's impressive. That is
a lot impressive. Of it is me. I'm more of the work from home, deal with all the administrative stuff, and he does a little bit more of the running of the shop and buying the flowers and everything. So it's a blend.
Well, you're lucky to have a partner with that kind of synergy, so that you obviously can complement each other. But that is a lot of, and I'm sure there's a lot of other aspects of your core business that you probably would have liked to pay attention to. Do you sometimes feel like that you feel like, and some people enjoy doing the digital marketing gig, but do you feel that sometimes it tends to take a bit of your focus away from your core business?
For me, I don't feel like it takes my focus away from my core business. I feel kind of torn between a lot of different channels, the social media. I also do, our billing and all that stuff. So really, I try to focus my energy on what's going to yield the highest result monetarily. And then I feel that the energy and time that I put into digital marketing is time and money well spent. So I don't think that it takes away. I think that it enhances our potential for future business. On the other hand, sometimes I feel like the other things that I have to do, like billing and all of that, take away from potential future business and time that I could be putting into digital marketing.
You enjoy doing the digital marketing, and that's cool. And you also come across as someone who's fairly knowledgeable about it. There are parts of digital marketing like search engine optimization that can be a bit tedious, and I think that's the one part. It's nice to do the digital part where you're interacting with people and you get reactions and people start interacting with you and communicating, and then eventually that leads to business, which is fantastic, and it's very empowering. But there's that other part behind the scenes. Google has just changed the algorithm, and now how do I make sure that I stay on page one, kind of thing. And that bit, I think it can probably be, and that's probably why you got the consultants in at some stage.
Absolutely. I worked for Whole Foods Market for about 10 years, and there were some pretty good leadership classes that they had there. And one tip that they sent out that really resonated with me was, you should only be doing things that only you can do. especially when you're running a really busy business. So for me, if there is another company that can go in and audit all of our keywords and all of our categories and all of our tags, and they can be spending that time and really putting that laser focus in there, then I can be actually interacting with clients and figuring out new designs, new venues to work at, and that's a better use of my time.
I'm smiling because that is where I was trying to lead you, and you just did it all by itself there. So it is absolutely, and the ability. I think entrepreneurship is often about knowing what to do when, and focusing on the right things at the right time. And you mentioned the ability to set categories and keywords and things like that. That is one part of it. There's also making sure that you've got your rich snippets and your schemas and things like that. And for many people right now, that would sound like I'm speaking Greek or something. Those things need to change on a regular basis. We've had the mobile updates that Google recently had. With mobile, Warwick is nodding his head. Yeah, he's in charge of our SEO, by the way. So okay. When I talk about SEO, I just first glance at him, and if he nods his head, then I continue talking. So there's regular updates, some of them bigger and others smaller, but it's part of this huge algorithm. And it's not just Google. Facebook's got an algorithm. Instagram's got an algorithm. Everybody's got an algorithm. And to make sure that you utilize those platforms to the max, it takes quite a bit of homework and staying on top of things. So where I was leading you was that an Eventerprise webpage is actually constantly optimized by people like Warwick and the rest of our team, so that vendors out there can set it and leave it. The only thing that you really have to choose is your categories and your keywords, and those most of us know. I know that I'm a floral boutique, and I know that some of my specialist niche areas are this and this and this. And you set it and you can continue. Question: How high would you rate the value of an Eventerprise profile for a fairly, how long have you guys been in business now?
1 year.
1 year? Mm-hmm. That's actually good going. And how many reviews have you collected over this year?
On Yelp, like about 20 or so. On Google, probably about the same, like about 20 or so.
That's really good going. And well done for having all this info within a year of running your business. And what other value could you potentially see in being part of, as a 1-year-old business, trying to grow in a competitive market? What other value can you see from an industry platform like Eventerprise for your business?
For me, really, it's the connections. I haven't been able to really delve in and refine my page as much as I want to, like I said, because I'm torn in a lot of different directions right now. But for me, what I'm hoping most to gain is just the connections and, recurring business. I really want to be able to link up with a caterer that has, the same kind of events that I'm looking to do. I really want to hook up with a venue that really appreciates my designs and my attention to detail and the way that we conduct ourselves within their space. I want to be able to connect to event planners that are looking for florists that are able to react quickly, put together a quote quickly, put together an event quickly, because that's something that I feel like, differentiates us. We're really able to turn things around very quickly and efficiently. And I really am hoping to connect with other like-minded companies that are looking for me.
So basically what you're saying is, if you're an event planning or event management company or wedding planners in the San Francisco area, you need to get in touch with Rubie Campbell of Nigella for all your floral needs. And you can do it here in the comments if you want to know more about Rubie's business and if you want to connect with her. Alternatively, get your business onto Eventerprise.com and network with Nigella and with Rubie on Eventerprise.